And we are live. Hello everybody, welcome back to the 5th episode of Sensical Ramblings, where our rambles make sense. Today, I am joined with my co-host Keegan.
Here.
And let's get ready to ramble. So Keegan,
Yeah.
we missed out on a week, and you said you were busy, and you had a couple things. Let's talk about it. What were you up to?
Alright, well, the weekend that I missed, I went to Fort Dix in New Jersey, DIX.
Okay.
For some
Thank you for the clarification.
It was for some weapons training.
Weapons training. What were you using?
Yeah, my unit, not reassigned me. They made me requalify on the M4.
Okay.
Even though I didn't need to, it's just did. But while I was there, I realized that my weapon, my M4, is in the shop. That was at the shop at the time, so I had to use someone else's.
What does that mean, your weapon's at the shop? What are they doing to it?
It means that it goes to a maintenance shop.
Okay.
So whatever might have been wrong with it, or it could just be a regular checkup. They just sent it up to the shop. So at the time, I couldn't use it. So I had to use someone else's weapon.
Okay.
So that other person's weapon was kind of trash, not gonna lie. Because the CCO, which is like the scope on top of it that like puts a red dot on the target.
Okay.
You can see a red dot through it. Yeah, so that scope was like, I have no idea why, it was just so off. It's aimed that I couldn't figure out how far or in what direction it was off.
So it was super trash.
Yeah, so before you qualify on the weapon, they make you do a grouping and zeroing, so you shoot a couple targets a few times to like make all the bullets as grouped together as possible, and then they see how far off from the center it is if you keep aiming for the center every single time.
Okay.
So then they'll just like adjust the sights that you're using to censor it, so that the next time you do it again, if it's censored, then that means you're zero, and then you go to qualify.
Zero, so it's like accurate.
Yeah, so that if like it's accurate to where you're aiming. Like if you aim at the center, you're gonna shoot around the center end.
Okay. Then the rifle you were using just sucked.
Yeah, because the CCO.
Faulty CCO.
Like, no, yeah.
For audio listeners, real quick, CCO stands for Close Combat Optic.
Yeah. So I think no bullet hit any targets that I was shooting at the first time I used the CCO.
Did you doubt yourself and you were just like, maybe I am trash?
No, I didn't, because no. Every time before that, with my weapon and my CCO, I've hit the targets first try, grouped and zeroed, first tried and qualified first try. So this time I'm like, bro, this has to be the weapon. It can't be me. I did not just lose all this skill right now. And I was proving that after I took off the CCO. After I took off the CCO and used iron sights on it, immediately started shooting towards the center of the target. So I knew it wasn't me.
So you were just like, huh, no scope, iron sights, do better.
Yeah, essentially, I was like, you know what? Screw it, we're using iron sights. And then I qualified with that first try. It took me 3 tries to group in zero, because I did the first 2 tries with the CCO, and then I decided to do group in zero. And then I qualified that same day, first try.
Sounds like that guy.
33 out of 40.
Do you think that guy qualified, or maybe he's just good with his own gun?
I have no idea whose weapon I took.
Okay. So maybe somebody would take yours when you're not around.
Maybe, but that depends, because
I don't know how that all works, but I would imagine, like, you know.
Usually you have your own weapon, and you only really use that unless something's up with your weapon. Like I saw that there were some people that they were looking for their weapon that they said it was assigned to someone else because the other guy's weapon was in the shop as well. So it just kind of trickled down. So some people using other people's weapons even though they were there.
Okay.
They didn't get there in time. So like it just, I don't know whose weapon I used. I just know the number on the buttstock was 86 and mine is 31.
Okay.
So,
you ever find that guy just ridicule him for not having good CCO?
Bro, the CCO, I'm surprised it still works because the battery was left in it since probably the last time it was used, and you couldn't open the battery case to take the battery out. like no matter how hard we tried. Someone even used like a Gerber to like try to pry it open and it wasn't opening. Like either it was like
Man,
melted or
CCO
corroded
is
or
sealed
something.
shut.
It was, bro. It was wild. Like I'm surprised it still worked, but I used iron sights anyway, so it didn't matter.
So basically, moral of the story: Keegan is such a gangster. He just said, "I don't need no sights," and qualified first try with iron sights. How far away was the
Bro,
target?
I was which one for grouping and zeroing?
It's the
Or
is
for
that what
qual-
you had to shoot for qualifying?
for, nah, for grouping and zeroing, the target is it's technically 25 meters away, but on the picture of the target itself, it's shrunken down so that it looks like it's 300 meters away. Because you're zeroing your weapon at 300 meters.
Oh, okay, I see. So the target's 25, but where you have to shoot would be like it would feel like 300.
Yeah, it would like simulate sort of a 300 meter. Because in qualifying, you have 50 meters, 100, 150, 200, 250, all the way to 300-meter targets you have to shoot. You're shooting 40 targets, you only have 40 bullets. That means one bullet per target.
Mm-hmm.
If you like conserve. So, and I got 33 out of 40. It's not my highest, but it's decent, I guess. For iron sights, it's my highest.
It is what it is.
Yeah, last time I did iron sights though was in basic training, so it's been like over a year since I did it.
Let's talk a little bit about some frustrating things that happened to me yesterday. So I already told you, like, I've been working on like a project for my class. The professor,
Yeah.
I love my professor. He's great. He really is for my technical writing. This assignment was supposed to be like the chillest assignment of the semester because there are no restrictions, no APA, none of that, nothing crazy. All it is writing an instruction manual, no word limit, nothing. Just writing an instruction manual about something you know how to do, something you can't research, something like you do every day. So I'm just like, okay, I mod Cyberpunk every day. I'm gonna do that. Then when I get started, it's supposed to be 10 to 12 step process. So
Yeah.
he says don't go over 12 steps. You can if you want, if you feel like you need to, but you're not required to go over 12 steps. I hit 29 steps.
Dang, you more than doubled it. You're almost tripling it.
Yeah, and I want to do extra stuff with it. It's gonna be submitted Tuesday. That's the rough draft.
Okay.
I wanted to add like cool colors. I wanted to make it themed like Cyberpunk to the instructions.
So it's not just words on a page.
Yeah, it's pictures as well.
Okay.
So I had to like go through, since I already had all this stuff installed, I had to reinstall a lot of it, and like I had to really like edit pictures, like 20, 30 plus pictures, to properly show all the steps, like circle what's important, arrows to show where you gotta drag, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? It was crazy.
You have like little videos in there too showing. Like,
You can't use videos because it's on a Google Doc.
I mean, you don't just import a video,
No, it's just pictures and words.
How about animate? Just get a bunch of frames of pictures.
100 pages, which is just, if you flip through it fast enough, it shows like a 10-second.
Yeah, pretty much.
What I'm worried about is having to do it like I have to download it as a Microsoft Word file, and that's just gonna be annoying because when you you do something on Google, then you download it as Microsoft, it gets all messed up.
Oh yeah, because Microsoft don't be having all this stuff sometimes.
Yeah, so that's gonna be fun. But I did basically a majority of everything, so I get to relax for right now, then do it like maybe tomorrow.
I mean, yeah, at least you have it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What I'm happy about is that he only grades the best one out of the two. So realistically, I have another week because it's due 2 weeks from now, the second.
Just to do good. That's good, I guess. And I don't think my teachers really did that. I think they graded drafts and final, but they just made the final a bit more.
They counted it together, your draft score and your.
Nah, I think they counted it as separate assignments. And like my English teacher, my English professor in college, We had we had to do a couple rough drafts for stuff and a final. So, but I think the rough draft was just counted as like a small assignment. It counted as anything big.
Okay.
And like, you wouldn't really. I don't think they made it. She made it so that you would lose points for getting like doing bad on it. It's just that more like an extra credit thing. Like if you did good, you get more points.
Yeah, I see. But
I
like what my professor's doing though with his style of grading it.
Okay.
Because
I mean, it's just
he really said if you do great on the rough draft, you don't need to submit a final draft if you don't want to.
I mean, I usually don't even do rough drafts, like unless it's like forced upon me.
I know there's this guy actually in my class. He's really cool. He's graduating. This is his last semester. He was telling me like he doesn't do rough drafts. He just submits the final. I hear a lot of background noise, Keegan. What's going on?
Yes, sorry about that. It's my mom being loud, but yeah.
Yeah, he does. It's his final semester, and he was telling me that he doesn't submit final drafts at all. Or not final drafts, rough drafts. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I never really like. It was hard for me to do stuff like that, even like all throughout school and stuff, where like the teacher would want you to do a rough draft, or like even an outline of what your assignment.
I had so much trouble like in high school making outlines, like with Mr. Mazzoli.
Yeah.
I couldn't write rough drafts. When I would write like a draft of something, I would start writing the paper out. Instead,
pretty much.
Yeah.
And then I just.
No, go ahead. Then you just what?
For me, I would I would try to do the rough draft, and then like as I'm like midway through it, I'd just be like, well, this could just be my final, bro. It's probably mostly out of laziness, though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like doing another paper.
I in high school, I never understood the need to do an outline. Now I understand why you should do an outline.
It's because we were good in high school. You know, we could just do it. Get A's.
It wasn't like graded as heavily in high school papers. It was just like 2 pages. Just do the thing.
Yeah.
In college, it's pages on pages of work. So.
Yeah. And because especially if you go further than like undergrad, you're gonna have to start doing stuff that like gets published.
Yeah.
So, like, they're just making you start being professional with it.
And APA, I hate APA so much. My professor hates it too, although he says in class, like he reinforces it a lot. He actually does not like APA. He was telling us how he had his students in another year. Whatchamacallit, had like they were doing a bunch of MLA. So his model papers that he would show us on like how to do some of the projects would be in MLA, and he would tell us like, hey, this was before the department got on his ass because he wasn't teaching people how to write in APA. He hates it. I was under the impression that he loved it for a little while.
Wow.
Because it's just it's so tedious. It's like citing sources and stuff is just the craziest thing ever to do in APA.
Well, I mean, you gotta do it anyway, so.
Yeah, I know. No, like the different like cases of which the source has paragraphs, no pages, like, you know what I mean, like all the little things. It's annoying.
Like just post the link of the source and you're good.
That's what I'm saying.
Like why do you need all this extra information, bro? You can just look it up.
Sure, just look at my sources page. That's where I got it from.
They're like, where'd you get this information? Check this next page.
Check the last page.
Just check the last page.
Alright, Keegan, I think it's time to tell you what I've been doing.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, this is gonna be a little ramble, like a good little ramble. I'm just prepping you right
go
now.
ahead, bro.
So, I know you know, and if anybody hearing this doesn't know, I mod and love Skyrim. I love Skyrim so much. I mod, and recently, my 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 ultra modded Skyrim, which I hand curated every single mod, I picked them all myself. It died. It crashed, and it's not. I can't redeem it. I can't fix it. I can't do anything. I tried everything. It doesn't work. So I had to painstakingly delete everything and reset my Skyrim completely, deleting all the files, all the archives, everything. 200 plus gigabytes worth of mods gone, and I was just like, you know what? I can't spend another month because like it's not just like all the mods were there and I just had to click download. No, I was following up and waiting for authors to like release mods. They say they were going to release them. When they did, I would have waited like probably a month for them, you know? I was on track for these mods. It was a journey. I was just playing. And so when it broke, I was just like, the way it broke was the dumbest thing ever, too. I'm really sad about it. I had a follower I really liked, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get you a new armor set, so you're not generic. And that armor set broke my game.
Wow.
It was running great until I got the armor set. Yeah. So I was looking at like mod lists, like because I don't have the time to like do it individually. So I was like, okay, let me get a mod manager, not a mod manager, like a collection, like a mod pack for Minecraft.
Yeah.
And then I see it says it recommends a 3060 Ti, and I'm just like, I don't have that. I think I should like mod Skyrim when I get a 40 series, like in the future, like when we move in.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking, yeah, that'll probably be when I mod Skyrim again, have all the time to do it. Strong computer, it's not a laptop, you know.
Yeah.
But something dawned upon me this week, Keegan.
Wow.
There is a tool called Wabbajack. Wabbajack being a mystical weapon inside of Skyrim that'll do random things. It's funny. Yeah. It's called Wabbajack, and the tool allows you, anybody, to set up and download insanely huge mod packs. And these mod packs are curated and patched by mod authors. Usually with mods, you need to like make sure they all play nice together.
Yeah.
And
those packs already set for that.
Huh?
Are the packs already set for that, like set to play good together?
Yeah. There's this mod pack I'm gonna do. It's called Project Skyrim. It's 1,700 mods trying to change everything about Skyrim. And the thing about it's that the people who make all these patches and do all this stuff with the mods, these people know 100% more about mods than I do. So they patch and make everything play nice. So I'm just like, I'm gonna do this. It makes the most sense, you know? And I installed the software. I'm just like, okay. And this is where the trouble begins, because Microsoft Edge starts just not wanting to work. It's like it just keeps restricting me, so I'm just like, okay, what if I just delete Microsoft Edge? Can't do that because I am using a Microsoft computer.
Yeah, bro.
I'm just like, I'm in pain. Like a lot of fixes say just change your default browser. My default browser is Chrome. What am I doing wrong? Dude, I was like, so the mod page, like the little like startup guide was saying how you needed 290 gigs and full of like that's like the everything unpacked. Then the initial download's 190. I'm just like, I have two SSDs, okay? 1 terabyte, one with my C drive, which is like your main files, Windows files on it.
Yeah. Then
my second one I use for games, my 2 terabyte one. And because of the fact that it was on the 2 terabyte one, Microsoft Edge was having an aneurysm trying to find it. And I'm just like sitting there just like, should I just port it over and just put everything on my C drive with Windows? Then I thought to myself, I'm not going to have space for anything else if I put all my Skyrim files here. Then I'm just like, bro, I'm so sad. Then I realized something. This is like 1 a.m. ish. And then I realized, wait a second, I can go back to a previous version of Wabbajack to for everything to work. So I'm going to use that version. When I realized that and I downloaded it and it started working, I'm going to do it tonight. And it's not. I want to get this like podcast done a little bit, like on the nose, really, like within the hour, because it takes a long time for those mods to download. All those mods will take, and I have the premium of the mod site. I'm a lifetime member. Before, I got the lifetime member before they shut down the whole lifetime member option.
Why? Why did they shut it down?
They wanted more money.
Oh, okay, it'd be like that, capitalist society and all.
Of course. So I have it. When I heard that they were doing it, I bought it immediately so I could, because I was planning on doing it anyways. I was like, fuck it, just get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that speeds things up immensely, which is great. But it still takes. Yeah, with premium, the mods aren't capped. Usually, if you're like downloading mods on a free account, your download speeds are capped.
Okay.
Mine aren't, which is great, but it'll still take like 4, 5, 6 hours to install everything.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of waiting.
Small price to pay for ultimate modded Skyrim.
I guess. I don't play Skyrim, so I wouldn't know the passion.
I just love it because Skyrim, the engine, is just mods for game. Like, you can do anything with the game. You can add anything, you can change anything, you can add new animations, you can add new systems.
Yeah.
That Skyrim is one of the only games that you can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do that with Minecraft, but come on, it's Minecraft, right? So.
What you mean? Minecraft can get a lot. There's a lot of stuff for Minecraft.
Yeah, but whatchamacallit, for Skyrim, it's just like the ultimate fantasy game if you get all those mods.
Yeah, and then it kind of doesn't really change the game at that point. You have that many mods.
Skyrim, if you download a bunch of Skyrim mods, it becomes a whole different game. Which is why I love it, that you could just transform the game into whatever you want, because there are like 70,000 plus mods.
Yeah, that's a lot of mods for a lot of games, though. Like, pretty much just change major aspects of the game.
Yeah.
Or it just makes it feel like a different game entirely.
For a lot of the games that, Minecraft, you can do a lot with it, I know, but like other shooters and stuff, other games, you can mod the game to make it be a little different, but it still won't fundamentally change how the game is played. Like what the game is. Like, if I showed you the difference, like if you were playing Skyrim like when you were younger and like you were a big Skyrim fan like I was in like 2011, then you see what ultra modded Skyrim is today, you'd think they're two entirely different games, because animations, weapons, systems, parry, like everything is just different.
I bet it would be the same thing for for me, since I was into Minecraft since like almost the very beginning. If that person looked at Minecraft that it is now, even without the mods, just the updates, it would look like an entire Minecraft 2.
Minecraft 2. What I'm waiting for is like when the new graphics cards come out, I want to see what people can do with You've seen like those super 8K texture packs.
Yeah.
That no modern computer right now, like this is back like when we saw the 30 series, no modern computer can run it for too long because it's just too crazy. Well, the 40 series is out. I want to see what it'll look like on that.
You gotta wait for the 50 series.
Oh yeah, of course. The 40 series is so big. Some people need to buy like a new case for their computer because of how big it is. Can you believe that? A graphics card.
I wonder how it's like though, building like a PC and stuff.
You know what? We'll build your PC.
Well, I mean, you don't need to build me one. Like, I'll just get like a gaming laptop or something, and like deal with that for a while.
Fine, you'll build mine. I'll watch it. No.
I mean, yeah, I guess. Well, for my job training, I kind of didn't really have to build a PC, but I had to work with a lot of like CCAs and stuff and like graphics cards and stuff.
Okay.
It was for an older PC, like it wasn't like modern stuff, but it was like gave me some insight into it because I never really did it before.
Okay.
So it was pretty interesting though.
Yeah, I think computer, like knowing a little bit about computers is like 100% important in this day and age.
Oh yeah, especially if you're gonna use it for jobs and stuff like.
Yeah, so my mom has gotten back into work, and part of her thing is like she doesn't have a phone. She like surprisingly
Not even like
she
a
needs to
government phone?
she needs to talk to somebody and text them to let them know everything's okay, but she doesn't know how to do that. So I have to
I mean,
teach her. That's why I feel like technology is so important, because even the simple things is knowing how to use a phone. Some people just don't know how to.
well, technology is just very intertwined with our daily lives nowadays. So like seeing someone that doesn't have that kind of, I wouldn't say dependency, but like that kind of usage for the technology we do now, or we use now, it's just pretty
I guarantee you,
jarring, I
no,
guess.
it's more like my mom uses phones all the time, but she doesn't have her own smartphone. Like whenever, like she will always need to be calling people and talking to people, letting people know stuff. But um,
Yeah.
she'll always ask us to do it and let people know and call them and let them talk to her and stuff. So you know what I mean? She's not like a
Yeah.
her life still revolves around like technology and phones and stuff, but it's
Well, yeah,
just
yeah.
like,
I mean, it's kind of hard to find someone who's like doesn't really revolve unless you like live off the grid.
all right, next podcast we're gonna be living off the grid podcast.
If we're off the grid, how are we gonna record anything?
Don't worry, we have batteries. We'll be fine.
it's,
We'll just
it's just gonna be
it'll
like
be
a
good.
it should be like a lost footage type of thing.
Lost footage episode, yes.
Yeah, we just hold it. We just hold on to it, and at some point, just post it like a few years later as like a leaked footage.
Leaked
Or just,
footage.
or
That's
just
how I
an old
feel about the
podcast.
first episode of podcast, the pilot,
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
dude.
It was after we
Because
had a good session.
yeah,
It makes sense though. Like we weren't like super into it after that first take.
you were still trying your best. I said I was done.
Well, I was still fine with like it didn't bother me too much. I was like, all right, well, I guess we're doing another take, so whatever. But yeah, I need the reciprocating energy, bro, to keep things going.
I don't need none.
If I don't get that mutual energy, how am I gonna keep it going, bro?
You just literally just have to talk about anything, my friend.
I mean, that's what we do. That's the whole point of this.
Yes, sir. We will get some more people on here soon, but it's
Alright,
so
so then-
impromptu.
Yeah. Well,
Not really
it'd be
impromptu.
it'd probably be easier once we move in, so that we have like a communal, not communal. Was it a normal space or something, a regular space to use
Mm-hmm.
for this kind of stuff? Because now we're just like straight up online, so like unless we get someone on the chat or in the Discord, they won't really be joining.
We will be inviting them to the apartment.
Yeah, we could do something like that. Because like if we just set up like maybe not even just have a little spot in the living room for it, or if we have a living room.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it depends on the apartment.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we could probably still set up like just a couple chairs in an area, like in a corner of the room, or something. And just have like at least one extra person.
Yep, but for this for what we're doing so far, let's see if first things first. Let's see if Sensical Ramblings will survive the test of time by the time we're both out of college and not learning about anything school related, and we have to just do real world stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we probably could still do it. Maybe not, depending on how busy we are. Maybe not as like frequent.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it also depends on like how into it we would still be at that time.
Yeah, we're not getting as much views as we did. The second episode popped off crazy.
I think the second episode popped off because maybe like Osu in the title.
Perhaps.
There's probably people searching up Osu. You know?
I think people fell off because they saw fallopian tubes in the next title. Understandable.
We lost.
Understandable.
Yeah, we lost viewership just immediately.
I
You were
don't.
into it at first.
I don't blame him. I'm not into it either. I'm kidding.
It's just how our rambles go, you know. We just be talking about stuff, and it slowly leads to other things.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, of course. That's just how our rambles are.
Mm-hmm.
Let's ramble about I don't know. Let's ramble about emotions. What are you feeling?
What am I feeling?
Exactly.
Anger.
At this current,
Anger.
just pure anger.
Yeah, unadulterated. I'm gonna kill you. Anger.
All right, so like try to explain that feeling right
No.
now in other terms.
Just no.
You're just gonna deny the therapist?
Just I refuse.
Like
I'm
you
leaving.
pay for a whole therapy session just to say no.
That's the biggest Chad.
I don't know if that's a
Ever.
chat. I think that's ruining your own mental health.
No, dude. Just go to the gym. That's the free therapy session.
We go gym?
We go gym?
Yeah, I mean, it might work for some people though.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. People have their own little coping mechanisms.
I have to go to the gym more. I know I've been, like I always say, I go to the gym a lot, which is true. We have an elliptical downstairs, which I use as well. But going to the gym nowadays is a little bit more difficult because of how cold it's been getting. But today though, I went this morning. It's really nice out.
I think for my college, I only ever went to the gym once to play basketball, and that was it.
Okay.
And then I never really went to gym because I was always going to Taekwondo for my club.
Mm-hmm.
And then I stopped going to Taekwondo because during COVID hours, we were like kind of forced to be outside and like spread apart. But during that time of the year, it was pretty like rainy and I didn't want to do stuff in the mud.
Okay.
I kind of just stayed behind in my dorm. I went
Gotta
once.
do a little bit of
that's
mud wrestling, Keegan.
Bro, I mean, it was all right. I went once. It wasn't raining, but it was pretty cloudy and foggy. And then the next day, when I was gonna go again, it was pouring, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing it.
Fair enough.
Like,
Are you ready for the snow though?
Oh yeah, bro. I'm
Snow?
waiting for this.
You sometimes forget, like, hey, you know, it's the end of the it's November. It's already the 6th.
Yeah,
I
bro.
thought November
I'm
just
already...
started, and it's like we're almost 1/3 of the way through of November already. Speaking of which,
bro.
you know what happens at the end of November?
What?
My birthday, baby.
Oh, okay.
Turning 20. Can't believe it.
Finally, you're getting out of the teens.
Shut your trap. I don't feel like I'm 20.
Because you're not until the end, right? To the end of the month.
No, I don't feel mentally there like a 20-year-old. But what does that really mean, being a 20-year-old?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Bro, so for me, growing up, I think the only somewhat mental change I felt like it was a bit of a change, was turning 17. I don't know why.
17, really?
Yeah, like, I think I realized it was like my last year of childhood before like legally being an adult at 18.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I guess I just was like, oh man, I guess this is my last year, and that was it. Like, I didn't really do anything about it. It was just more like, oh man, I guess this is the last year. And it didn't change how I felt any other year after that, even now being 21.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of weird for that moment though.
For me, turning 18 and 19 during quarantine, I just felt like that, like, beginning of my adulthood, I lost that, you know?
Yeah.
For me personally, I think there's some people I've talked to about it as well. Finishing high school in the pandemic and staying home for the next 2 years for school, for college. I am in my 3rd year of college, and this is my first semester, in-person semester. Can you believe it? That's just insane.
I can actually.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it was just more of like a hard switch, because at first I was going to in-person stuff all the time, and then out of nowhere, I'm pretty, like, we were all kicked out of campus. Like, everybody, we were just chilling there and for spring break. And at first the emails was like, if you can go home, we advise you to go home.
Mm.
And then, like, I think like a couple days later, they're like, all right, no, everybody go home, leave, get out of here.
Get out of here. Scram.
Like, because I was planning on staying at the college or in the dorms through spring break, so I could just continue my classes after and not have to go back and forth. But they just kicked us off, so I was like, okay. And since I knew I wasn't gonna come back, like back to the campus for that, because everything will be online anyway, I had to bring all my stuff back home.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just glad that we moved right before I had to do that, so there was at least somewhere to put it.
Mm-hmm.
It was still pretty wild, because then for like the couple years after that, for like the semester, and then semester after that, it was just online classes for the most part. And I think the only classes that had in-person stuff weren't really like that. It was my electives, I think, and they had the option to do online, and I just did online instead.
Yeah, every semester I'm planning on taking at least one online course. Like, I'm taking an asynchronous psychology course right now. Going back to, like, the whole thing with, like, school, right? I lost that, like, sensation of having to, how did I put it? My first 2 years of college was supposed to be, like, a big new change and shift in, like, life. It's not, it's not college. It's not high school anymore.
Yeah.
I actually have to take New York Transit, and go to school now, which is something I've never really done before. I mean, I've taken the bus, but now taking the train. Basically, all that stuff I should have learned like 18, 19, or like 18.
Oh, you didn't. I thought you knew that stuff from like high school, because you.
I never took the train. I never took the train though.
I guess.
And just doing things on my own, realistically, like being out very far. Like, I was still in Queens. High school was still in Queens, where I live.
Yeah.
But now I'm in Brooklyn for school. And now I'm learning things on my own now, at least. Better late than never. Like, learning like different train routes to like get places faster, what's more optimal, like speed running, getting home,
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's why Google is, or at least the internet is good now, because you can look up train maps and just look at how the routes run.
It's not even that. I didn't look up any of that. I was just observing how things were.
I mean,
like, as I'm on the train.
There's signs everywhere too, so like, even if people get lost, if you just read English, you got it.
I'm just
it probably
saying,
sucks for.
Yeah, I'm just saying how I'm now doing things I should have been doing. I've been feeling like an adult recently.
Yeah.
Like, when I went to go to the DMV to renew my passport and get my state ID.
Yeah.
I still have to get my driver's license. I haven't been having the time to go with my dad and him teach me some stuff. We only went like a few weeks ago, but each weekend I've just been busy. Now that I have the podcast, it's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah. I mean, at least, do you have your permit at least?
I don't.
Yeah, so you're the same boat as me. I don't even have my learner's permit either.
The only government identification I really just wanted to get, because I knew I wouldn't have time to get my learner's permit or my license, was the state ID. So I got the state ID.
Yeah.
It took a little while, and like, you have to like, I found the whole thing interesting. You had to get points. You have a state ID, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You had to get points to build up to get like it reached the threshold to be able to have a state ID. So everybody
really?
who
I just kind
doesn't,
of went to and got it.
Yeah, but for recently, at least for me, you had to bring in documentation of which it was scored. Yeah, it was scored. It gave points. You had to get things, get more documentation. They asked for more points you get, then you can get your state ID or the upgraded state ID. I was so close to getting the upgraded, but whatever.
For us, or at least for when I went, it wasn't like it was like a ranked type of ID thing. Like, you get as many points as you can just to get a thing. It was just like you would look at what you wanted and then just get enough documentation for that thing, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to get the highest grade or whatever. It didn't really matter. Like, especially for me, because I was only 17, so I was like just getting this just to have it.
For me, one thing that school screwed me up with, I had to get my transcript for college, so I sent it in and I paid for it to get like the PDF so I can just print it out from home.
Yeah.
They didn't do that. They didn't send me the PDF. Little did I know, they actually sent me the whole paper, and it was late. Like I needed it the day of, or like I was gonna go the day after, and
Yeah.
it never showed up, so I had to do without it. I had to find another transcript. So I had an old high school transcript that didn't work because it's old. It doesn't count. So then the day after, right? The day after I get my state ID, after I come home from DMV, the day after, it comes in the mail, the transcript. Which is like, I wanted the email of it. I wanted the PDF, not the physical copy, you idiots. Bro, I was fuming. I was just like, I could have gotten the upgraded state ID.
And the DMV be slow too, so like, even if you did.
I mean, bro, it is what it is at this point, man. Been like a year.
I mean, what would be the difference though if you had the premium?
The premium, you can use it as a passport.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But it is what it is, whatever.
Hey, I mean, I can use mine.
I don't care as much. Wait, I don't care as much because I also got my passport renewed, so whatever.
Yeah, I don't even have a passport, but I can use my CAC as a passport.
Your what?
My Common Access Card, CAC.
Oh, I thought. Okay, got it. None, bro.
Yeah, so when I'm traveling, or when I had to travel, all I had to do was just show my military ID.
I'm military.
Yeah, and I'd have priority. Like, not only would I be first or be like one of the first to board, it would also give me like the better seats if it was available without having to pay for it. Like in one plane when I was coming back, I think from job training, it gave me first class.
Really?
It was available. Yeah, because I think the person who had that ticket like canceled, so they had the free seat, and they're like, "Hey, would you like to go first class?" Like, I think they called my name too. They randomly, I was just sitting there and I heard my name called, and I'm like, "Huh? What? Am I in trouble?"
So you were sitting in economy?
Nah, I wasn't. It was in the airport. The plane wasn't there yet.
Okay.
So it was like I was.
Oh, you were sitting. Oh, you were sitting at like the sitting area.
Yeah, I was by the gate, and then they called my name for it. They called a couple names, and my name was in it. And I'm like, what am I getting called? So I walked up. I'm like, hey, you called me for something? And then they said like, oh, so we have an open first class seat. Would you like to take it? Like, oh, yeah, of course, I'll take it.
Yeah, of course.
Got that extra leg room, better sleep, bro. It's fire.
Get extra leg room. Got the whole bed to yourself.
Well, it wasn't like a jumbo jet or anything. So it wasn't like that crazy of a first class. The first class just had like slightly better seats and more leg room, pretty much. And I think the seats went back a bit further because of the more space.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I had like better sleep, because I just was more laying down.
I see.
Yeah.
Hey man, I've only been on a plane once in my life, and that was like a couple years back. High school. Go to Disneyland in California.
Florida?
Yeah. No, not Florida. California. It was Disney.
Yeah, Florida's World.
Yeah, Florida's World. Yeah, I went to land. Yeah, that was the first time I've been on a plane. JetBlue is probably one of the nicest planes I've been on. I mean, it probably is the nicest plane it's been because I've only been on one, but it was really good. It was really nice.
Okay.
It felt like a nightclub because the blue lights like were underneath. They kept handing out snacks and stuff. I was like, this is it.
You know what? When we move, let's buy a private plane. We could use whenever private jet.
Of course.
Or just immediately after we move. Like money's not gonna be an issue. We'll just do it.
Of course.
We just have to have the right mindset, and we can do anything, right?
Of course. You can literally just create money.
Exactly, bro. We just have to have fire.
Pretty sure I saw a post, like, I think Elon found a asteroid coming around Earth, which would make everybody billionaires if everybody on Earth billionaires. if they extracted the materials, but
If everybody
he's
becomes a billionaire, it wouldn't matter.
nobody would be a billionaire at that point if everybody has the same amount of money.
Like, well, we'd probably have like billions amount of dollars, but each dollar would be worth so little at that point that it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
So like,
that's why I'm hoping like the only thing that a lot of people are just hoping for right now is just winning the lottery.
Yeah. Well, I've seen like a couple of these like news stories about people winning the lottery, and they're pretty big winnings. Pretty wild.
Yeah. So the new highest thing, I don't know if anybody won it yet, it's 1.2 billion or 1 billion, but after like the IRS gets its take, government taxes and stuff,
it's probably gonna be like 500 million, but still,
it's 600 million actually.
Yeah, so that's
still
still a
good.
lot. Like
it's still a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, people be complaining they don't get what they get, but like, bro, that's a lot still.
Bro, I would be happy with 10,000.
That's an immediate multi-millionaire.
Instant. You're not gonna be like on the billionaires list because you won $1 billion in the lottery. You're on the millionaires list.
Yeah, pretty much. And like, I think you know, if to be on the billionaires list, you probably have to like have $1 billion, like over $1 billion, and make it consistently over $1 billion or something.
Mm-hmm. Remember when Kanye got all this stuff? When he made those anti-Semitic comments, he lost his contract with what was it? Adidas. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw a lot of stuff about that. I never even saw what he wrote. I just saw a lot of people talking about it, and I'm like, bro, when did this?
Anti-Semitism, my friend.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he was saying something along the lines of how Jewish people are always on top. They have their hand in everything.
Yeah,
something like that. But because of that, my technical writing teacher, we had like our full class. Our class was supposed to be for working on the project, the one I was doing. But instead, he took the time to have like a very civil conversation with everybody about like roots and racism and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because he is Jewish as well. And he was talking about how like you're not really supposed to make comments about other people's culture if you don't know what they've been through. He said every culture on planet Earth has gone through some sort of atrocity.
Yeah.
So everybody comes from like the same place. So if you're black and you say something about Jewish people, you know, you can't really do that. But if you're black, say something about black, that's your culture. Like he went way in more depth with it. He's very articulate and picks and chooses his words wisely. So I mean,
yeah, I think
he knows the way he was going about it. It just sounded so intelligent and it made sense. I'm just trying my best to, you know.
I think though, in a lot of those cases, it kind of depends because like it might, even if it's about their own culture, they could probably say whatever, and like realistically, there's probably nobody that's really gonna say too much or do anything that crazy because it's like they are them. So like wasn't he talking also about like slavery being a choice or something?
I never read into anything. I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean, these are just some other people's comments that I saw stating that he did that. Like, where were you when he said stuff about this? So like, in those cases, because like you could still be racist to your, I guess, own race or something.
I suppose so. The world is so weird right now.
Yeah. Well, it's mostly just like whatever community you're in. If you don't follow the norm, you're gonna get some backlash. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
Even if you do follow the norm, there's gonna be like a loud minority for some things that you still might get backlash for.
One thing he talked about as well is that this isn't anything new. This has been going on for thousands of years.
Oh yeah. Even if it wasn't like deemed as racism before, like it was still more of
hatred
like,
has been around. Hatred has been around for years.
Yeah, like it's just hatred for the difference. Like if you're different than what they know, they're gonna like. There may be some curious, some intrigued. There's gonna be some haters, bro. That's just how it is.
He wanted to stress the fact that if you're gonna have to have a talk about someone, people need to start having these conversations and stuff he was talking about. if you were to like have this conversation, you should be vulnerable and understand, like, like learn to understand the
Yeah.
stereotypes of your own culture, and like learn to like hear other people's point of views and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say also just being vulnerable. Like also like don't be defensive in any case. Is that part of being vulnerable? Like lack of defenses. Like if someone tries to like argue your point or something. Like I guess if they're defensive,
You gotta hear them out. You need to hear what they're saying
Yeah.
as well. You can't just be
I mean,
one-sided, narrow-minded.
narrow-mindedness. Yeah. Don't be closed-minded for stuff like that.
Closed-minded. There's
But-
more than one point of views.
Yeah, well, I mean that's just more of like people's understandings of each other. Like it will help conversations or arguments, I guess, flow better.
Hmm.
Even if there isn't any like change of opinion on either side, like it still at least gets the points across.
Yeah, as long as
Some point.
people hear each other and understand what's going on, that's good.
That's usually the biggest issue for stuff. It's like people don't want to listen to others because
People don't want to listen. People don't want to learn and get educated as well, because a lot of people don't know a thing or two about a thing or two. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be like culture or race. It's just about things in general. People just gotta learn stuff.
I don't know, the whole world, the whole history. If I wasn't a computer science major, I would have definitely been in history. I find history so interesting.
Yeah, history is interesting, but I wouldn't say it's what I would probably do even if I wasn't a physics major.
What would you
I
have done?
think- Well, okay, if I completely did nothing related to science, would you consider math as science in this case then? 'Cause,
Well, you'd be a mathematician then?
maybe if I completely like was devoid of science, I'd probably do math. If you consider math as a science, I'd probably do music, but that also entails a lot of music history. But I'd probably be like a musician or something.
Oh yes, music, where you learn music history, music theory.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude, if
I-
you
I
learn
think-
music theory, you can make the intro song to our podcast.
well, I mean, the problem with that is I'm not creative. I already know music theory. I'm not like super good at it. I like just knowing stuff of music theory, but I know this stuff. And like I can rate sheet music. I know like the chord keys, all types of stuff, chords, whatever, all that kind of stuff. But I'm not creative enough to create songs. I don't know. It's just hard for me. It might just be like lack of practice or whatever. Like maybe if I just practice
It might,
for
yeah, it
years.
might just be that. You gotta practice.
But I don't know, because even I took a music class in college, and one of the final projects was to create your own song or own piece, which it wasn't very long. It was like I think it was like 16 measures or something like that.
Okay.
But it was in the kind of ABAC style. So like you have the chorus, I think, the verse, chorus again, and then the second verse or the last verse or something like that. Like that was the kind of pattern we were going with. And for
Mhm.
me, bro, I like for the life of me, I couldn't even come up with something simple. Like it was so trash.
Mary Had a Little Lamb trap remix.
Nah, because she wanted it to be unique, so it couldn't be like very obvious rehash of something we've heard. So like that's why I was like having so much trouble. I'm like, bro, what do I do? I don't know what I need to do. Like I had a lot of thoughts of like what I could do, but nothing came out into anything like proper, I guess, in the song, in the piece.
Mhm.
Like I don't even think I got a good grade for it, because we had like a rough draft stage of where we would create the rhythm of the song before the actual like pitches. So I had the rhythm, and it was the way that okay, so while I was doing it, I think staring at the program for like hours, not being able to figure anything out.
What program are you using?
I think it's called OneNote. For like, it's like a little
Okay.
music program to create song pieces and stuff.
Okay.
So I was on that for like a few hours, just like not figuring anything out. I didn't know. So at some point, I just said, "Screw it! and went on Google, got a random number generator, assigned a number to each type of note and rest, and just kind of rolled through it and was like, okay, I'll put this here. Okay, you're next. Let's put that here.
Alright, but was it
And
fire?
I don't think so, because even after I played, I'm like, bro, this is kind of trash, but I don't know what to do to change it. Like, I don't know what would sound good.
What'd
So
you get on?
when
What was your grade afterwards?
it was very good. I think for that thing, I think I got a B or a C, and I think I only got that grade because I had like varying different things in the rhythm. So like it wasn't very obviously it wasn't repetitive, but it wasn't like just the same thing over and over again, I guess.
Okay.
So she at least liked that I was using different things, but I never told her that I used a random number generator for all of this stuff. But then to create the actual piece with all the pitches and stuff, it just sounds trash. Like I think I still have it too, but it just sounds trash.
Bro, play it.
I'm not playing it, bro.
Dude, play it.
Bro, I don't think I would be able to play for you to hear it. Like I don't know how. I guess I could record it.
Some bars.
And then send it. It's not, bro. It's not some bars, bro. It's because though I think she wanted us to put specific phrases or like have a good phrase and a good motif in it, and I just couldn't come up with anything. I was like, bro, like it took. I think even creating the piece because she said that I should really change up the rhythm when she gave me back my paper or my piece, my grade, and that I should like really figure out something more proper for like the actual piece because this wouldn't be a good thing to use. So I completely like scratched the entire rhythm and just had to create a new one for the piece. So I really just didn't know what to do. Because like for me, what's easier is playing songs. Like I'm not good at creating stuff. I've never really been good creatively. I've always just been like, I guess observing and rehashing stuff, or not even rehashing, just redoing stuff that I've seen. That might be why I've been like decent at doing like music stuff, like learning songs and stuff, and just like being good at school stuff in general because I just look at it and I can copy it.
Okay.
So I don't know, but it just I'm not very creative now.
Why do you think that is now?
It's probably because growing up, I never really tried to be creative, or I thought that even if I did try, it wouldn't amount to anything, or it wasn't amounting to anything quickly enough for me to care to be creative. So I just kind of not did anything with it. So now I'm just not creative at all. At least I don't think so.
I mean, can't really. I don't think you say that. When you edit your videos, when were editing those streams, that was pretty creative. You have to add your creativity into editing.
I guess, but it's more just like me remembering something that was used in another video that I'm using again. So like, I don't know.
Keegan,
I guess
be real, Keegan. Nobody can really make up their own memes. Who's making up memes?
All the time.
New memes do get creative, but will you be the one to make them? Probably not.
Because I'm not creative, bro.
I know creative people, and some of their memes are trash. But at least they're creative, I suppose.
Yeah, for me, it would just be... That's why even on my Instagram or anything, on my social medias, when I post memes and stuff, it's never my own meme. It's always just I screenshot someone else's meme and just post it because I...
Dude, how about... Wait, don't... I don't even know. Like, sometimes I think you would post, like, some math stuff, and you'd be, like, a math joke or something, and you'd be like, oh, that's funny because yada, yada, yada. You've done that before.
Yeah, I post math memes, too, and science memes. Because I thought it was funny. Like, I just posted it because I thought it was funny. So, like,
maybe you can just make your own math memes, just keep it into the sciences.
I don't know.
I figured you out. Just make science memes.
But even for that, I don't think I'd be creative enough.
What are you talking about?
think I'll probably just be stuck like this. Be too creative in anything I do.
So you mean to tell me when you get your gaming laptop or PC, you'll just have a static background?
I guess not, but I guess it'll just be whatever I like.
Fair enough. I was thinking you're just gonna be the most boring individual I've ever met.
Well, I mean, for my current background on my laptop, it's just live wallpapers of different anime stuff and a couple space stuff.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah, so I guess like that kind of creativity, like my own type of style, is a mixture of like me liking science, math.
I mean, you were telling me earlier, like you had like the whole thing for cycling wallpapers every every month.
Yeah, I use the Wallpaper Engine in the computer. I changed it, or I make it so that it changes every hour.
Every hour?
Yeah.
I did not know that you can even do that. That's awesome, actually.
Yeah.
One thing I did when the month before I changed everything to Berserk, I was doing a full Razor theme. And what I did for my lock screen, I saw something you can do. You can have a folder with a bunch of PNGs and stuff.
Yeah.
Set your thing to slideshow and point it towards that folder, and then it would cycle through the PNGs in that folder. I thought that was so cool. But I had to make a folder, download all the PNGs, throw it in there, make sure I didn't delete it by accident as well.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'd be able to do like a themed thing, or like if I for like a week or something, I just like have a theme of like where to put all my backgrounds and stuff too.
That's why I change it every month. That's what it's always refreshing now. Like everything's now nice and purple, cyberpunky. It's cool.
Yeah,
the thing about a Wallpaper Engine too is like it connects to my phone as well. It's also an app on my phone.
Yeah, I think I have this on my phone too for live wallpapers.
Dude, a lot of the wallpaper apps on like the Google Play Store are garbage.
Yeah, I think I found a decent one, but that's why I like Android, where you can get APKs or whatever, get your own.
Dude, with Android, just get Wallpaper Engine for your phone, dude.
Yeah, pretty much. I think I had Wallpaper Engine before.
Dude, any wallpaper on PC can be put on your phone, and it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I think I have some. I haven't changed my wallpaper on my phone though for a while. Just had it. The wallpaper on my phone, I haven't changed it in a while.
What's your wallpaper?
Right now, it's just the default wallpaper because I haven't changed it. Because this is the S10 sensitive. It's after I got the new phone. I mean, I could probably put something, but I don't know what. Probably like just do a regular static image instead of a live wallpaper, because the app that I use, the way that they do their live wallpapers is they play it more like a video, so like it plays for a very long time, but at some point it just stops, and then it's like it takes off the wallpaper and puts back to the default after it's done.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty weird. So like after I realized that, I'm like, I don't know if I want to use this app anymore, so I might just do a regular static wallpaper.
Just use Wallpaper Engine, brother. It's just better. Have you ever used it? Have you ever went through and did it?
Use Wallpaper Engine
on your phone, since you have an Android.
Yeah. How is it in the Play Store, or should I do it on Google?
It's on the Play Store. Look up Wallpaper Engine. Then you have to boot up Wallpaper Engine on your computer.
Oh, and then connect it from there.
Yeah. Then connect it.
Okay,
yeah. So basically, what you're doing is you connect them, then you send the wallpaper from your desktop to your phone. Then you can do whatever you want with it afterwards.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Dude, it is amazing.
Yeah, I can do that later. Alright.
And guess what?
Time's up.
Yes.
No, interesting thing about time. If you move faster through space, you travel slower through time.
Alright. So, Keegan, you want to do a little outro? Let's do a little retrospective of podcast 5.
It was an alright podcast, I guess. It was kind of like loud.
He said it. He said the podcast was kind of mid.
Kind of mid, yeah.
It was all right. I could take it or leave it.
I mean, it was wherever, you know.
I mean, it's a podcast, right?
Yeah, I wasn't like overly, like passionate about it or overly against it. Like I was just chilling, you know. It's like a normal podcast.
Yeah, it was fun. I had a little rant, like very strong ramble.
Yeah.
I just find it funny how it built up all last night of me going through all that stuff, and it went perfectly into the rambles today.
Yeah. Hey, that always gives us new stuff to talk about, though.
Yeah. Well, with that, we'll see you next week. Later.
Yep. Bye.